Sound check. 1, 2. Okay, mic is now responding. Good. Every time something updates, no matter how unrelated it is to the streaming setup, something has to break. Naturally. It's the law. Okay, now I'm going to turn off the microphone again because the PC's about to ramp up. And let's see how it's like for once, just once, for you to not have to hear my fans shuddering as if I'm about to ignite Chernobyl. Be right back. Okay, it knows I'm listening for it now. It's going to ramp up the second I send out a notification and let people know, oh yeah, we're ready. We're not. Something wants to explode, and it's not a raid boss. Not yet. So, gonna hit start game. Wait for it. Wait for it. There we are. You stupid fans thought you could surprise me. Joke's on you. I know you're just as broken as I am. Alright, we can bring back the main display now. Well, VTube Studio not showing. There we are. Okay. Well, I can send out the notification. We're going to watch things where we belong in the Twitch overlay. And let's just get straight into the fight, and we will explain second. First things first. I should have brought some Ultra tablets with me. There we go. I'm only carrying half the ammo I would probably need with me. Let's see, we're going to start with ice on my mount, water on the ground. You may already be noticing some differences from last time. We will go into the explanations afterwards, because we have food buffs up, so. Let's get everybody out. We're going straight to Ultra, no warm-up today. My human needs a food buff, too. Well, I also have an epic of this plasma launcher now. We'll see if we end up needing it or not. Okay, everybody, showtime right out of the gate. I got more ammo in storage if I need it. For now, let's just get some numbers in there. Much better than last time already. We have Yormantides to deal with the fires, but right now the boss is still here. It's gonna set there. I let go of the trigger for a hot second. Didn't mean for Frostallion to start that. much better than last time. Gotta say. Yeah, everything's on fire. We're fighting Blazamut. Took you a while to break out the Radon maneuvers. I'll give you that much. So now I've given you that, let me take some health off your hands. Still only 2 rounds per clip. But yeah, we're already about 500k deep and still have 7 minutes to go. Feeling better about our odds this time, considerably so. I see stressed out, but I don't see anyone KO'd. Even better. These Jet Dragon are useless because nobody's actually been KO'd. Nobody needs to be rescued yet. Suffering from success. Who are you hitting? Bucket, get in the fight. Thought I could dodge roll that. Not in time. This is a giant fuck-off tornado, isn't it? Same as hell Zephyrlocks. Goddamn, I'm using ground. Still getting stunned out the ass by electric. We got 4 minutes left, only 250k health. Yeah, we got this. And that is why I gave my mounts defensive food buffs. cannon. Just 2 more clear shots should do it. There we go. Did I just get another Ultra Slab off of that? Everybody back in the box for a second. Let me try to gather my thoughts. Emphasis on try. Yeah, we just got another Ultra Slab off of that thing. Hopefully it's not an even tougher version. Ooh. New helmet. It's not my vibe. It feels kind of Terra-lite for me, personally. But yeah, we got another Blazamut egg, 2 skill fruits, some civ cores, 2 rare candies, a half-dozen diamonds, and another Ultra Slab. I'm not in a hurry to summon that again, I'll tell ya. Okay. I had to dismantle everything out here because nobody was putting out fires. I just go to storage first, make sure all the pals are sorted, nobody injured severely. Hell, you still have half the uptime on your food buffs. Well, the Jet Dragons don't. The Memorist Curry lasts a lot longer than the Gale Claw Epic I've already forgotten the name of. And the Anubis has got plenty of time. Okay. Get everybody back to at least half sanity. At least. I imagine the mounts are going to be generally fine. These rescue Jet Dragon, again, disappointing. I should just keep them combat active. If I'm going to use a rescue pal, it might as well be one for my own inventory. A lot of sanity damage, but no actual real damage. Okay, now that we're all caught up, everybody's back in storage. The green circlets you see, those are going to stay as long as they're in storage and not active elsewhere. They will be reducing in duration if we take them into our party, or if we send them to a base where they're active, i.e. just apply them here again. But that should be enough time still to do a second Blaz Ultra. I'm just giving them time to recover some sanity naturally. None of the Anubises I'm worried about on food buff duration. Hell, I could probably do twice as many raids with the Anubis per food buff versus how much it takes for the Yormantides. There might be better first phase options for Blaz Ultra, though. Now that I feel like I've done it fairly my first try, lost, and then come back second try, over-equipped, I feel like it's safe for me to start looking some shit up. Like, I would have never started on those bad scores, but oh yeah. These were the Anubises I had set for backup in case shit hit the fan. They're all level 1. These were not really things I expected I was going to need, but I had to breed a bunch of Anubis for the sake of tech points. I'm almost done with it. From the top. I've not only unlocked it, everything that is in terms of like a saddle or an ability unlock for a PAL, I've crafted. So, I'm still missing a bunch of base furnishings, weapons, ammo types, you name it. But as long as everything's unlocked, then I'd say that's the hardest part. Anubis, while breeding them, I was getting a bunch of large souls to aid in the buffs for the raid. And something I'd forgotten about until I had them on mass breeding was that they also have a rare drop of advanced technical manuals. The blue ones, I guess the rare, which gives you 2 tech points per drop, as opposed to the green ones that just give you 1. So when I was breeding those Anubis en masse, I was also desperately farming tech manuals to try and get enough tech points to unlock all this. And I didn't use all the ones that dropped either. I don't know how much the Xenolord saddle costs in terms of tech points, so I'll wait to redeem those last few books until I'm actually ready to fight Xenolord. Which... Oh yeah, I need to go through some storage here, because... Let's see. The only 3 things left up at the base right now, well, 4 counting the PAL box. That's repaired, that's repaired. That's repaired. That's repaired. Good. So I can grab a little extra muscle, reset those PAL boxes. I don't know if we're going to need them for what's coming next, but we'll see. so much I unlocked I have to go through. I could unlock... I could just unleash 4 or 5 of these to try and speed things up, but they all clump together around the same ones and waste the same amount of time idling, so it's not particularly helpful. You also probably noticed the rate at which time is progressing, day and night cycle. I ordinarily keep things at a 0.1 multiplier, but I set things to just standard 1 times today, because I need to get the resets going on the raid bases, the oil rigs. Level 55 one's probably been good to go, I just haven't gone back since I got the epic missile launcher. It's the level 61. I went back, and that is where I got this, the epic plasma cannon. Honestly, that Blaz Ultra was my first time trying it. I think I need to do some smaller targets to actually see whether or not it's worth it. I just finished building the PAL pods first. All the busy work between boss fights that, well, usually you're the hero, you're the protagonist, you don't have to deal with the backstage shenanigans. But those arenas don't make themselves. And here we are. Yeah, that's all the PAL pods built. I need to rebuild the monitoring stand, and what else did I have out there? Good job. Probably gonna rename you Craft Arena. I think I had a tombstone out here where Blazamut Ultra killed my streak of first timing raid bosses. I think I had a monitoring stand. What else? What else? Definitely feel like I'm forgetting something. What else do I got in here? Guild chest, right. Nothing in here per se that I gotta worry about. I stocked up on AR ammo. Hopefully that'll be enough to last me by the time I stop using the damn thing. Should be good to go. Yeah, that's too much ammo for me to lug around right now. Did I need those Civ parts, or did they just drop from the boss and I forgot already? Probably, yeah. Oh. Never mind, I can carry that much ammo around. I'm lighter on missiles than I would prefer, but I got enough rockets and plasma cartridges that I should be okay to go. Just a Smoky over there? Just a Smoky over there. So what do you think? Should we do one more Blaz Ultra, or do we go to something interesting? It's almost nightfall. Maybe we're going to get visited from the stars. I did not prepare my other raid teams. The Yormatides do have dragon tech, so I feel like they're going to be okay against whatever part of the Xenolord is dark. But I did not have the time or the patience to prep my Bastigors for the dragon stage of it. So I'm probably just going to have to reuse the same raid team that I did for Blaz Ultra. Not ideal. But the thing is, I can take out my text files and try to tell you just how many souls I had to invest to get everybody ready for this. So everybody in here is 60. You could be up to 80. But nobody here needed work speed for the raid, so I only invested 60 ranks of increased souls. If you're curious as to what I'm trying to say here, and most likely failing at explaining properly, max health, attack, and defense. These were the 3 out of 4 skills that I invested souls into. And that extra 122 large souls, that was just from me forgetting I had 40 Necromus eggs, I think, that I had to crack open, and then I just butchered most of them. I think I kept 1, but butchered most of them, so I'm going to need a lot more than 122 large souls to invest these. Just look at this. 10, 6, 6, 30. That's just for one stat on one pal. You want to max out 3 of them with souls, that's 30, 18, 18, 90. And the 90 is the biggest, the giant souls. So, after that you have to factor in, you need to max out not just one pal, but from what I've got in these boxes, 30. And the way I got things set up, I'm going to be reusing these Jet Dragons, so I don't need to count those 2 in the same way. I didn't even need to necessarily do the attack on these 2 mounts. It's better to have it and not need it than the other way around. It's done. I could always reset them with gold if I wanted to. And I got Felbat with me. I can actually show you the cost in gold of trying to do resets on that. If you want to reset a PAL with 60 soul levels invested into it, that's over $500,000 in gold. 636,000. Now, I am in an extremely fortunate state where I can say that doesn't matter to me. Here I've got 10, 15, 25, 35, let's just say 36 million gold in storage. 36 million. I can afford to be stupid. You can see I already am. But I can afford to be stupid on this. But even then, you have to reallocate the souls. You still can't do this from the PC, the PAL box. So it's a matter of convenience versus efficiency. And I'm choosing to prep that second raid team separately. So we are not doing Xenolord Ultra tonight. I am sorry to be the bearer of that news. It's not happening tonight. Because if we were going to, I would need to prep my Jet Dragon raid team, and I would also need to prep my Bastigors. Maybe I'd get by with just one, considering nobody was downed during the Blaz Ultra fight. But I feel like Xenolord's going to be the toughest of all of them. It's the highest level unlock. It's the one from the most recent update. If anybody's going to require I have rescued Jet Dragon, it's going to be Xenolord Ultra. How's everybody on recovery so far? We're looking at 70s, 60s, okay. Well, as long as you're all healing up, maybe we should do some hard tower bosses. Where did we leave off on how hard tower bosses last time? I think we did Zoe on stream, but we haven't made any further progress. We can actually check our progress on how hard tower bosses by going to the expedition station. This will show you all tower bosses, baseline and hard, because for each one you defeat, you unlock more expeditions. Simple, right? This one is for defeating Zoe and Griswold the first time. This one for Lily and Lylene. This one for Axel and Orsurk. This one for... I've already forgotten his name. The Phalaris trainer in the desert, the PIDF. This one for Victor and Shadowbeak. This one for Saya and Celine. This one for Bjorn and Bastagor. No, I skipped. Zoe and Grisbolt, Lily Lylene, Axel and Orsurk, the PIDF tower with Phalaris, I can't remember the trainer's name, Victor and Shadowbeak, Saya Celine, Bjorn and Bastagor. This one was for the hard version of Zoe and Grisbolt. These last 6 are the remaining 6 tower bosses, so I'm kind of in a mood to knock them all out. And since I got my raid team recovering sanity at the moment, let's go see what we got available. I should probably bring Pal Spheres with me, just in case we find some Luckies on the way. I believe I left them all at the raid base. At which point did I bring my Ring of Mercy with me too? How overprepared do I want to be? Yes. I'll leave the slab here. And I'll take an extra Mamorest Curry with me too, in case I need the extra attack buffs. Let's see, did I leave my Ring of Mercy in the guild chests? Where did I put that accursed thing? Well, there's always a greater than 0% chance I sold it the last time I went to... No, it's right here, next to the horns. Okay. I've sold it once while clearing out excess accessories from all manner of dungeons. Let's see, where do we go now? How about... We can do Zoe and Grisbolt for a warm-up. Oh, and if you're looking at these brown dots around my map, this is from a mod I have for Collectibles UI. This also includes active dungeon markers. It's why I don't mark dungeons. You just toggle this on and off. And effigies, I don't need this anymore because the 2 effigies I'm missing are the ones that are inaccessible, so I know where they are, or where they should be at least. I've got all the notes. I don't need it to show me chests. I can find those. I don't need it to show me eggs, nearby outposts, fruit trees, any of that jazz. No, I can deal with this. In fact, why do I have this toggled? Nothing's selected, so yeah, just turn that off. Let's go do a warm-up with Zoe, shall we? Ooh, I could have brought Gildane for super effective damage. I don't think I'll need it, though. Alright, that's a cut under my pay grade. Godspeed to them, though, the level 5s. So let's see, if I'm not mistaken, this one spawns her with a Syndicate Crusher for hard? Yeah, let's do this. I didn't equip that Mercy Ring, did I? I don't think so. Alright, Marnie. Send out your hangry mode, buddy, here. My neighbor Electro and his minigun. Alright. Yeah, I'm touch over level for this now, I feel. Was that 20k? More than 20k, actually. Off a single rocket. That could get boring quickly. How about some plasma? $10k for a headshot. Nice. Focus on the same enemy, please. Thank you. Did any of those actually hit? Guided my ass. That'll do. I feel like I could have done that a lot faster, but, functional. What was that, 5-6 minutes? It worked. I'll take it. Now let's see, who do we got next? I think it would be Lily and Eileen. Let's get everything reloaded before we pop over to the next boss. I'm wasting a slot even. I'm actually going to a couple different biomes. I should probably keep that on. Okay, everything's reloaded. Next up, we're going for Greenpeace. And I want a piece of her. Supply drop? I don't care right now. I don't have the instructional manuals unlocked, so I'm not getting anything that I can actually use from supply drops at the moment, other than Chromite, but we're not on Feybreak Island, are we? So I'm not getting anything I would need from that supply drop. Okay, let me think. What would the vegan have for additional NPC allies? There are those giants from... I know there's a boss version of them not far from here. Not Jade. Where are you? Brick, yes. There are these PAL Association giants. I'm guessing it would be one of these, although it could just be a shitload of crossbowmen. I won't know who she has until she gets in here. Or I get in there, rather, so... C'est la vie. Time we gave it a shot. 4,000. Wait, am I starving? Did I bring food? I can't remember if I deposited all my berries or not. Excuse me, Forest Dryad. Would you happen to have any spare berries before I murder you? Well, I can pop that cherry, sure, but it's not what I was asking. Alrighty. Now, who did you bring with you? Or are you actually going to start using that spear now? Oh. Crossbowman. Only 2? I can take that for the moment. Excuse me? I was in a menu. It's not your turn. $11K? Not bad. Yeah, you sure are burning nicely. Was it really just the 2 crossbowmen and you got a bunch more health? I mean, if you want to make it easy on me, sure, but... that easy? Is that a new move, or have I just not remembered it? The Rings of Roots. If you want to take this one, go for it. How did I miss? Wait, did she heal? I feel like she just regained a chunk of health. I wasn't looking at the exact numbers, though. Because Eileen does have a heal as an ability. $32K. Okay, I think she healed at some point in the middle of that. It did not cause me any trouble, though. Minor confusion at best. Or worst. One more hard boss down. And for that, I received... Not really my vibe. How's your sanity getting? So you are taking some hits. Fair enough. Let's get you back to at least 50. Okay, now next would be... I'm not going to remember before I see it on the map. What's your name? I want to say Marcus? And the PIDF, you're going to spawn a bunch of cops on me, aren't you? What the fuck else do you have? It doesn't tell me his name on it, so I'll find out as soon as I get in, I guess. I'm trying to think what would be the dumbest but best thing they could do. Here's my idea, okay? As soon as you step in, it triggers a wanted alert, and it spawns infinite ads that you just can't get rid of until you defeat the boss, because he's like a PIDF head. Oh, I hope I'm not cursing myself on that one. Everything's reloaded? Okay. Oh, hi, Mark. Yeah, you've even got the cops in the scene. It's gotta be these guys, surely, for the hard version. Surely. But how many? I couldn't get a good count of them before the transition. My guess is like 8 or 10? Please be 8 or 10 and not infinitely respawning. I was right, it is Marcus. It only took me the last minute to remember. Really? Has it been that long since I pissed off the cops? Oh, that's... I don't know that electrical attack. Focus me, bird brain. No Hell's Curtain for you. But you do still have that giant fuck-off electric tornado, and that's got me worried. I feel like the biggest threat you have is just keeping me burned so I can't heal, but I have a Fell Bat. I didn't even bring potions or food buffs. I mean, I did bring a food buff, I'm not using it at the moment. You get out of the blast radius of that electric tornado. That really? Come here. Thank you for helping me with all that healing. They didn't even get aggro on you after the beginning. Thank you. But that's it for another hard tower boss? Really? I feel like I'm slightly over-prepared for this. Maybe more than slightly. Yeah, no. Not my vibe. But we did get a large lotus leaf for that. Huh. And another rare candy. Okay, after him should be Axel and Orsurk, or maybe I should have done Axel and Orsurk first. I forgot which order those two came in. Ooh, sulfur's back. I forgot I could get this as a good sulfur place. The Vanworms are here to bless me. I will not disappoint them. Okay, let me think. This guy is Brothers of the Eternal Pyre. He's already got electric coverage. He's running an Orsurk. He obviously has electric coverage. People will bring water in here thinking he's going to be a fire type because Brothers of the Eternal Pyre. But now he has fire, so if you were coming in here expecting to be safe with... How many Brothers of the Eternal Pyre do I think he's got in there? Because there were, I didn't count exactly, 8 or 10 cops with Marcus and Valeris. Probably 8 or 10 Brothers of the Pyre in here. If they all have flamethrowers, that could create an interesting chain reaction of explosions. Quite the fireball. Well, don't want to be late for the fireworks. Let's get in there. You are the only tower boss who uses one of the pals that I like having from my team. I didn't bring in Orsurk with me today, but I still respect you for it. He's a good choice. Gotta respect the Glam Chomp. Oh, you brought more electric pals. Interesting. Probably could have KO'd both of them at the beginning if I just hit Orsurk directly. Interesting. If you are using dragon attacks, though, that's super effective against Felbat. Solar Beam, not very effective. Wait, was that the triple Carano? I already forgot how to pronounce it, the trident thing. I guess if the hard versions are higher level, that was a level 55 attack for Orsurk. I missed again. That Relaxaurus Lux's corpse being in the way, throwing off my aim. That is the unintended difficulty. Did I not just reload that? I heard the reload. Yeah, that's a multi-trident, alright. Grass for ground coverage. More grass attacks than I remember, at least. The vines are especially annoying if you're not ready for them. Getting caught on every last minute terrain. There we go. Come here. Come here. Good job. Good Felbat. I was getting a little dicier than I'd like to admit. I was feeling like I was having trouble keeping my health over 2/3, but that was still enough. Okay. Now let's see your helmet. It's a beanie with some extra strands. it's not for me. So that means we can now move on to Victor. 1, 2, 3. Yep, Victor should be next. Okay. Who are you going to have with you? Because the only thing I remember your genetic researchers bringing to the table was dudes with laser rifles. I don't know what he's packing. Okay, I'll make things fair. You want to go in blindfolded? I'll go in blinding too. Let me make sure everybody's taken care of. Sanity's a low, but not bottomed out. Let's get you to at least 50. Let's get you to 71. How about that? Better, hopefully. Dudes with laser rifles. Hopefully it's the same situation as the cops. I can just point blank them on the ground, get most of them in the blast radius. No time like the present. Let's get in there. You and your bullshit stun resist buffs ruined my team of 5 Jet Dragon. It was perfect. They were named after fictional presidents and other aspiring politicians. And you ruined it. Huh. You and your edgy Arceus knockoff. You and your ice motif for a dark fight. I'm not gonna let you just walk away, Victor. You and Shadowbeak are about to be broken. I don't see anybody else in here. I do think he has more health than the others. What were the others, like 350 something? Is it just more Victor? Because higher numbers? More type coverage. I don't remember you having a water before. Yeah, I don't even know what that move is. I haven't seen it before. I'm not gonna lie to you and say Marnie or Zoe was easier, but at the same point, I feel like this is simpler. And he used to be the final boss before the Sakurajima update. I guess you really do have that former final boss energy. And of course, that one penetrates cover. Are there any types you don't have, actually? Fire, ice, dragon, dark. The only thing I haven't seen out of you is normal, and I do think you have Pal Blasts. Fire, water, electric, grass, ground, dark, dragon, ice. You have all the types now. Is that your gimmick? That you have every bit of coverage? Felbat, let him get out here. Wait. Wait. How? He has a fucking Shadow Clone. Shadow Beak has Shadow Clone Jutsu. Oh. Well, you don't have a second boss health bar, just a second enemy, another body in here, so... Okay. Your clone here is doing quite a bit of legwork. I'll give you that much. I brought a food buff, I'm using it. I might go down, actually. I'm not healing fast enough. Oh, okay. Felbat, where are you, buddy? Come here, come here. That was a little close at the end. You did great. Credit where it's due. I could not deal with that clone quick enough. Good thing I only had to defeat the original. Well, I guess I should grab more Mamarest curry. Things are up and running at the base as usual. You might see... Actually, no, I have the regular ranchers in there. You wouldn't see the new Kindlers. Okay, so... It's the closest so far to one I might actually use. With my current motif and color, if I wanted some Nier Automata vibes, yeah, this could be... To be, not to be. I choose to be fully armored, actually. But that is the closest so far. Can I deploy you into the Palpod, by any chance? Maybe if you were working at the base? Let's get you in the Palpod, buddy. Looks like it's doing work. Unfortunately, the Palpod is still not quite an ideal situation. Stay in the pod, you need more healing. Sleeping? Good. There you go. Much better. Everybody is worried sick, and not just because I removed their sanity buff. Okay, let's get you back up to 70, 75. That should do. Okay, next up would be Saya and Celine? Yeah. I think I got enough ammo to cover for that. I might have to restock before I go to Bjorn. The last time I beat them was the first time I beat them, and I got a lucky right outside these doors, so I'm crossing my fingers. Maybe that was all the luck I'm getting with them. What do you have? You have those ninjas, right? I don't remember any other humans in the area. So you have ninjas. And the dudes in the masks. How many ninjas do you have exactly? You're about to have many, many ninjas be reduced to, well, far fewer. So, pump up those numbers. If I see them coming, they're already not doing their job that well, are they? Cheers. In fact, let me pop open a drink. It'll be my celebration for once you two have been beaten. Ninjas, I knew it. Walked right into that one. Goddamn. Can I just get stuck on a pillar? God damn. Ow. Oh dear, my health. Okay. I'm gonna have to try. That Holy Burst, I do not have a good way out of. I didn't bring a glider. I might go down in this one. I'm taking damage a lot quicker than I expected. I'm not healing as much back. But I think you've only got one move that penetrates cover. Never mind, you also have Hellzone Grenade. What was that aimed at? This is gonna hurt. There go my shields immediately. Okay, as long as I'm spamming the multi-guided, I think I'll be okay. But this can't be a one-size-fits-all solution. This is from the Sakurajima update, right? Or when did the first oil rig get introduced? I think it was level 55, so yeah, Sakurajima. Surely they planned something around this. My drink is blocking my ammo counter. I celebrated very wrong. Very soon. Too soon. You got clones too? How tough are they? They're not nearly as tough as Victor's clones, I will say. Oh, one's already down? Jesus. Why am I surprised? Of course the ninja would have Shadow Clone Jutsu. Of course. But you still have about a third of your health left, so how many more clones do you have? You have Hellzone Grenade and Final Flash. Or, that's more of a Gallic gun, it's purple. But then again, is your Hellzone Grenade purple, or are you just purpley? I'm not having any more of your bisexual Ultimate Sphere Lightning. Lightning? Lighting. Fuck. You can't win by concussing me, I already have too much brain damage. Fellbat, take 5. I might regret that choice. Or you might just Champion of the Galapagos Islands, defeating 6 tower bosses in hard mode. Well, I know Bjorn has a hard mode, I didn't do it the first time. Less than 1% of people have got this. Hang on. There's one awardment left. I wonder if the last one is for Xenolord or for the 7th tower in hard mode. Huh. Either way, I'm just one Steam awardment away from having 100%. Again. Actually, no, I never got 100% on Palworld, because the first time I was saving Zoe Grisbolt for last, and then they added new achievements, so I figured, fuck it, I'll wait. Today's gonna be the day. And let's see, what are we working with here? Not my vibe. I can see the appeal, not my vibe. Maybe. Legitimate exaltation. Thank you for the first time chats. I see what you're offering. Thank you, no thank you. We still got half of a full durability's worth of multi-guided missile launcher ammo. And more than half for everything else, so I say we go for Bjorn. Felbat, I want you to have full sanity for what is to come. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that Bjorn is going to be flooded with Feybreak Berserkers, or whatever they're called, the ones with rocket launchers. They're going to make it hurt. Like, you are the highest level boss so far. Like, I think the helicopter was level 59 for the level 60 oil rig, so if your hard version is level 60, then you're the hardest boss currently in-game, theoretically. I don't know how it would compare to the Ultra Raid bosses, so let's find out. We're gonna hop over there. I might pop my food... No, I'm gonna wait to pop the food buff until I need to, like, burst heal. Start with one of these. It's gone suspiciously well so far. I do feel like if I didn't panic use the Mamarest Curry during the Victor fight, that clone would have got me. I was not healing as much as I needed to. I was taking way too many risks. They did not pay off. I only had to defeat the main Victor in Shadowbeak, though, so... Let's see how we do with the Viking and his army of Borderlands bandits with TD or explosives. Alrighty. Let's hop to. Excuse me. No, you got mind-controlled, Jen. Do they ever explicitly say what the purple ore is? Because my gut says it's like the mind-control drugs, but I don't know that for certain. We could ask a Lavander later. Yeah. How many is that? 2 warriors, 1 berserker? Okay. Already no shields. Okay. Just get rid of the rocket launcher guy first. Okay. That seems too easy. He's probably gonna get reinforcements. Leave my pal out of this. Oh, you also have 700,000 health. I just realized. Now that I dealt with the rocket launchers. Water tech for fire because you're ice. He's already 50k down, though. Guided missiles, my ass. Felbat, why did you run into the enemy attack? Do you have self-preservation at all? Reload the damn thing. You know what? I feel fine using it here. Where did I... Did I deposit that food buff? Take your time healing in my Goddamn blinding. Okay. Heal in your sphere. I will call you back out when I need you, which might already be now. God damn it. Oh, it's 5. I'm gonna time out on this, actually. I'm gonna time out if I don't die. Okay, Bjorn is gonna be harder. Good. Things were feeling a little too easy. Yeah, I don't even have him at half, and I have more than half of the time lost. What the fuck? I did not tell you to send the Goblin out. Definitely losing this one. We might be able to survive it, but we are not winning. Might. Never mind. There we go. Okay. Slow clap for Bjorn. First KO I've taken in a while. Yeah. I don't think I have any drops enabled, so... Should just have everything with me. Minus all the armor condition I lost and the ammo I spent. You take your time healing up, buddy. Everybody here back at 100? We should be good for the next raid. Good. So that is 6 out of 7 bosses done on hard. Tower bosses, specifically. Let's see what we've got available for expeditions now. All the organs from the syndicates. We know what they've been doing. Cavern mushrooms. Maybe I should be running this. How... I can get that down to 5 minutes. I'm not doing that right now, but it's an option because I need cavern mushrooms. The Free Pal Alliance gives you all the spheres. Gee, I wonder what they were doing with them. Brotherhood of the Eternal Pyre gives you a bunch of basic crafting materials that they better be in high quantities. Chromite, sure, but the rest of those, I bet there's a rationale. I'd have to try it out. PIDF, Illegal Factory, that's just a bunch of ammo, isn't it? Is that every type of ammo available? Rockets, missiles, energy carts, plasma carts. I think it might be, yeah. Genetic Research Laboratory, that's... Motherfucker. I wish I'd found out this before I invested all that time in farming supply drops and dungeons to get lotuses. But yeah, this could actually make things a lot easier with getting my next raid team online, because if souls are here, it should be in a decent quantity. And of course, technical manuals and dog coins from this one. What's in the last one? Raid materials. You can get ultra slab fragments? I thought you just got whole ultra slabs from beating the respective non-ultra boss. Huh, okay. And more manuscripts, which I have like 2,000 of these I'm not using. I don't know what else they're good for. And more ancient civ cores, which I guess I will need in order to repair my shields. Okay. Might as well go for the Genetic Research Laboratory because I'm trying to get my next raid team online. And I can get that down to 5 minutes 51 as well. Is that the lowest any of these go? $256 on the low, $424 on medium. Okay, so the maximum... The maximum reduction in time you can get, or I guess just the minimum time, is dependent on the risk factor. And high is the highest, so... Okay, I guess... Don't assign any of these guys. I'm about to go raiding. I just subtracted 30. It only added 5 seconds on the last... 3? Auto-assign, eat my entire ass. Did I just assign more? My brain autopiloted the last few clicks there. What did I just do? I can't check which pals are assigned from the expedition station once the expedition is active. I just hit auto-assign again. Whatever. It means we've got 5 minutes to gather ourselves. I'm glad I couldn't just steamroll all of the tower bosses in their hard forms. Bjorn is going to give me something to target, something to work towards. And I did have Mamarest Curry, I'm just blind and dumb. I'm not looking forward to reviewing the footage and finding out that I just glanced right past that and ignored it during the fight. Because it had a 3 next to it, and I was expecting there to be a 1, because that's what I was... I know the way my brain works, and more importantly, I know the way it doesn't. Whatever. Let's go get some of this crap out of our inventory and back in storage. So we can prep for the final, air quotes, raid boss. I don't think we're going to be ready for Ultra Xenolord tonight. But we can get close. Bring 2 of those with me? Yeah. I better grab some extra missiles while I'm here. I could build more accumulators to keep things going when I tag out the ore circ. It doesn't seem relevant, really. Yeah, I got spare missiles, although they're all gonna get used eventually. What's the durability looking like? 534? Okay. Got some more legendary cosmetics to put in storage. Oh, right, I didn't take the horns from Blazamut before. Right. How long have I had this here and I've just been ignoring it? There were patch notes from over a month ago. I think when the Lunar New Year update went live, it would have been at least January, at least. Where certain items had their durability retroactively increased, and if you wanted to use the updated durability, you had to repair the items if you already had them crafted. This isn't like the oil extractors, where you had to recraft them from the ground up in order to get the buffed rates. Just had to repair. And I couldn't remember why that was in my notes, because I wasn't using a double barrel shotgun, I was using a pump. But now I know. It's because I already crafted the legendary versions. And my armor's almost halfway broken. Oof. I'm taking hits a lot more than I'm dealing them out right now, so I should probably get this sorted. And I'll worry about my weapons after we're done with the fights for tonight. I've crafted every legendary I've found so far, unless I'm forgetting something. These are my extra innovative tech manuals. I thought it was advanced? No, I had the name wrong. It's innovative tech manuals, the blue ones. You get a chance of these dropping from Anubis if you butcher them, even at level 1, fresh out of the egg. It doesn't have to be an alpha either. It's just a small chance, but any Anubis that you butcher, level 1 or above. And if you have your drops tripled in your world settings, that means you can get 3 of these manuals per Anubis that drops them. It's not a guarantee off of them. I keep saying this over and over again. It is a low chance on any Anubis, but it is a chance. But if you get lucky and it drops with your drop rates tripled, you get 3 manuals, and that means 6 tech points. That's hard to pass up. Thus I didn't. Maybe I should bring the laser rifle with me? Not really. I feel like I've got the plasma cannon, a rocket launcher, a guided missile launcher, and the AR. If I was going to replace anything with the laser rifle, it would be the AR, but I've got so much of the ammo saved up, I want to use the damn thing. It seems very reliable. So that's what I'm going to do. Everybody back from expedition now? Good. Good. I do not have an exact plan for how I'm going to deal with this. I only have the 2 raid teams ready with me. Hopefully it's not going to be that bad because it's not an ultra. Hopefully. I'm being very aspirational right now. Hopeful. And I said we were going to do Xenolord once the stars were up, but the sun is one big-ass star, and around here, sometimes it's in front of the moon. I think alien shenanigans have been going on from the start. Is there anything else I'd want to hold on to right now? I don't want to burn food buffs on a first try. I think I'm going to start with Frostallion. I'm probably going to keep it for the majority of the fight. If not the entirety of it. I might go on foot afterwards if ice isn't being effective. I don't know which stages it's going to be dark or dragon in, or if there's any other elements. All I know is the ability Invader. It gives you buffs to dark and dragon. What's the order of that, actually? Invader. Plus 30 to dark, and then plus 30 to dragon. So, if it changes elements, it's going to start dark and then end dragon. Maybe I'd be better off saving Frostallion? Ugh. But ground isn't going to do anything super effective in the fight, and I've only got 2 dragons that are fully buffed and ready for this. My Yorms have dragon attacks. They have a dragon base attack for when everything else is on cooldown. I think I'm going to chance it. I'm going to start with Frostallion. I would prefer to be airborne for the majority of the fight, and I'll go to Gildane if I need a reserve mount. All these are level 1. They're not going to be helpful. All level 1s. We'll see as the fight goes whether or not I have to dip into my reserves. My other Alpha Ragnahawk that I have, it's at the storage site. I don't want to have to go there. Might have to, but I don't want to go there just yet. And these are my new Kindlers. I told you about them a hot second ago. I ended up getting my male Blazamut Ryu, my 3rd raid, maybe 4th. Did that off stream. And it took me a while, but I was able to get all the passives I wanted for it. The 2 legendaries, or the 2 raid bosses, that I have all the passives for so far, Blaz Ryu and Bella Noir Libero. Now that they're on Libero, I can pass them down to base Bella Noir, no problem. I haven't done Xenolord yet. I don't even have all the passives available for Jet Dragon. I have 8 out of 9, but Jet Dragon's my most used legendary, my most used of all the restrictive breeding options. Frostallion is the one I've bred the most heavily, and I still don't... I think I am at 7 out of 9 on Frostallion. Nothing else is close. I did work on Xeno Vader and Xeno Guard. You might have noticed my breeding base was lagging a touch. I wanted to get these generally done before I moved on to Xenolord, just in case hell froze over and I found a way to breed down in Vader. But yeah, considering Xeno Vader and Xeno Guard are restrictive in breeding options, these are my sole investments. These are the ones I bred. These are the ones I went out with a Yakumo to capture, because I was having no luck with breeding after a point. It's like, I just kept getting Mastery of Fasting over and over again. Didn't matter how I switched out the breeders, I just kept getting the same rainbow passive. I know it's a 1 in 8, basically, but I couldn't help it feeling bad. So I got Diamond Body, Hardy of the Immovable King, and Vampiric, all while using my Yakumos over here. I only have the males with full condensation in them right now. I might have enough that I could do the females as well, but you don't need 2 full sets of fully condensed. You only need 1 properly. So I'm missing some. Oh yes, in case I go out looking for Xenoguards again, this Xenoguard came out of an egg. It was just a random pull. I don't even think I was using my designated breeders for trying to maximize mutations and traits. Just randomly, I got it. And this Yakumo, Diamond Body, I have them all named according to their skills. When they're in my team, it's easier to remember what's what. I can put you in the system as well. I only need 1 more Xenoguard. It is Diamond Body? Diamond Body. And I don't know about Xenoguard itself, since anytime you encounter in the wild, it's an alpha. So that's probably going to overwrite any probability of it being a lucky. But Xeno Vader has a chance of randomly spawning as an alpha. And given that random possibility, it should also theoretically be possible for it to be a lucky. So I don't know if it's possible to get lucky in this. It's definitely not possible to get legend in these breeding mixes. These are the 2 soul dense options. Each of these has 115 invested, so whenever I'm decided on my builds, I can just get them ready to go. And these are for other traits. Again, I don't know what I'm doing for builds specifically, so... Oh, I'm not wearing my glasses right now, am I? No, I'm not carrying my glasses. These are my samples for perfect 100 IVs in all 3 stats. So you can't see it right now because I'm not carrying my IV glasses, but male and female perfect IVs for each of them. I can spread that around. I need to figure out my builds, though. Stuff like Work Slave, Musclehead, Ferocious, Serenity, Artisan, Burly Body, Runner, Philanthropist, just general coverage. I don't know what I would be building for them yet, but I like having the options ready to go. Why do you gotta be out of the ordinary? Acting so alien. So yeah, I got a bunch of Yakumo. Male on the left, female on the right. All my traits are covered. All the passives, except for... I have traits on here that they aren't actually going to be able to influence the odds on. Like, for example, I have Siren of the Void, Lucky, Legend, Eternal Flame. These do not have a chance at spawning on wild encounters just because they're equipped onto a Yakumo, even Max Condensed. These are for breeding purposes. All of my Yakumo in these 2 cages, all of the males and all the females, perfect IVs. That took way too fucking long to make sure each one only had a single skill along with perfect IVs. Way too long. But I did it. So now, anytime I want to build a specific PAL, if it can be bred non-restrictively, so it's basically one of the not 12 or 13 on my list, if it's not one of those 13, I can make it however I want. I can get it any configuration of skills I want. I even saved 5 whites here. Find Furs in case I want to do another Wumpo build. Impatient in case I want to stack that on top of Serenity. Nimble in case I want to stack that on top of Swift Runner. Serious in case I want to use that in addition to Work Slave, Artisan, Remarkable. And Work Slave, these 2 go together. I have all the yellows and all of the blues that I give a shit about, except for Invader. And I need to actually catch Xenolord in order to gain access to that. Afterwards, I'll be able to have Yakumo with basically every skill, every passive that I would want to pass around, and I can build them however I want. I can build my Yakumo however I want, therefore I can change whether I'm wanting to catch any PAL I want with any nature, or if I want to breed any of them outside the restricted list, so... It's feeling like that's as good as we're gonna get. So I got one more raid boss I want to try before we punch out tonight. And we're gonna do it together. You still got half an attack buff. Everybody's out. Everybody's out now. Time for the... Wait. You're not the only pal I'm missing, actually. If you remember, you remember. If you don't, you don't. We will deal with that after the raid boss. But I want to make sure I've got at least a page for every PAL available in the current version of the game before we say so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Give me an attack buff. I'm not playing any games on this. Do it. $1.3 million health. This isn't the Ultra. You just have that. Well, at least it's going down quickly. What? You have a lightsaber? Oh my god, it's an alien dragon with a lightsaber. You are the coolest thing. My inner 12-year-old approves. Alien demon dragon with a lightsaber. You're both types at once. What's your phase change going to be? I like your version of the aerial attack better than... I was about to say the Radon from Blazamut, because you don't turn invincible for that. You just go very high up. Wait, what? You get ads? Oh, you get fucking ads. And my legendary rocket launcher's not enough to deal with that. Well, I'd say we're going at a decent clip. We've done about a third of his health, and we still have 2/3 of the timer. Hopefully he doesn't regain health whenever his phase change happens. Does he get ads instead of a phase change? I hope that's the case. We'll see shortly, soon enough. Shortly enough. Just get staggered all the way up there. God damn. I'm glad we can interrupt that instead of you turning invincible like Blazamut for his. You have an even bigger meteor attack. Oh, how many ads did you just spawn? My frame rate is dead, man. One down. Three incapacitated. Fuck it, I'm changing armies. I don't know if it's coming across in my model very well, but I'm smiling so fucking wide. It's not even an ultra, and he's pushing us this hard. I only had 100k left, and he hasn't shown any signs of healing, just summoning mobs. Invader from space summoned and defeated a Xenolord. Jesus. All the jets went down. Put out some fires, guys. Please and thank you. Please. The Anubises are repairing. The repair bench got burned down, I'm guessing. Only one thing burned down, as far as I can tell. Looks like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did we lose any Palpods? Ooh, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We didn't lose any Palpods. We just lost a repair bench. That is nothing. Okay. All the fires are out. Let's see if we can't get you guys some attention. Long overdue attention. Gildane, I'm sorry you didn't get to tag into that fight. I don't think you would have wanted to, truth be told. I see the slab in my inventory. I'm ignoring it at the moment. I know one of you got a more severe injury. I'm guessing it was one of the ones that was incapacitated. No, it was you. Don't worry, I got medicine for you. Can't remember which kind it takes. No. There we go. Sorry about your fracture, buddy. There you go. You're better now. Gildane, you should not even be here right now. You're just making everybody else feel bad that you didn't even participate in the fight. Okay, Depression. Shots for depression, I wish. One, 3, 5, 6. I'll be honest with you. I imagine that fight going a lot worse considering we didn't bring a properly type-matched team. But, that's the power of just having the raw stat investments. Between food buffs, soul buffs, condensation buffs, min-maxing your IVs, and of course, decent traits. You could always do better than these for traits. These are the ones I'm more comfortable with. Like, if you were worried about survivability here, you could replace Demon God with Legendary. Legendary gives you 20 attack, 20 defense. So, compare that with, like, 40 stats versus 35. You can make your arguments there. Legendary also gives you a movement speed increase. You can make your arguments, I guess, whether you would want Demon God or Legendary. But I think Vampiric is necessary for the amount of damage you need to be dealing, as well as the amount you need to be healing to sustain. Serenity gives you access to your moves more consistently because of the cooldown reduction, and it gives you a plus 10 attack. That plus 10 is not something I consider the most relevant, but it is a factor. It's a bonus. And Diamond Body is just a bunch more defense. If you didn't want to use Diamond Body, your next best option would be Legendary, and after that, Burly Body. So if you're already considering Legend for Demon God, you definitely want to keep Diamond Body to combine them for like an extra 50 plus defense. As it stands, this is a plus 35. So plus 40 attack with Demon God and Serenity, plus 35 defense with Diamond Body and Demon God. The Vampiric gives you Nocturnal, so you don't have to worry about your pals automatically going to sleep during raids. The regen is the most important thing, but considering how much time a raid can take, you don't want to have to worry about whether or not your pals actually stay awake for it, right? Okay. I know you're hungry. Let me help you. Everybody do at least 30. There you go. You guys did great. I didn't know if we could handle that fight, but you proved me wrong. You did phenomenally. Good job. Gonna need an extra minute for the rest of them. Okay. Let's see what we got out of that. The Ultra Slap. I am not even thinking of trying that without the properly type-matched team, so that's not happening tonight. It's just not. I'm sorry. Call me a coward if you want. It's not happening tonight. But what else do we got? We got some rubies for selling. A Ring of Freight +2, although... How much do you think this gives you? How much? We're at 2,900 right now. It gives you 200. Takes up an accessory slot for that. No, it's not worth it. I could just be carrying a Wumpo with me for 180. Unfortunate. I've got a stockpile, though, in case they make things better. I should grab extra meds when I go back to base. Make sure I keep this place stocked up. That's from the Blazamut Ultra Raid. I wonder what your helmet is for the... I wish I could say I wasn't spoiled on this. I was spoiled on this. I know what the headwear is for the Xenolord Ultra Raid. I'm just not going to tell you in case you want to stay surprised. These are the eggs for Blazamut and Xenolord. So, I don't need any more Blazamut eggs. I can literally make a perfect one with any passives I want, currently legal on it. So this is just kind of condensation fodder. Medium. Those were on the beach, actually. Okay. One IV fruit because it's not an Ultra. I guess only Blazamut Ultra. I don't think Bella Noir Libero Ultra gave 2. I don't think. I'd have to double check. Ring of Dark Resistance 2. I think I actually needed that one. Okay. Still had 1 curry left over. Do not be such fucking drama queens. I saw you, air quotes, starving to death. You were fine. Also, if you're worried both for pals and for players, starvation will never be lethal in and of itself. It will reduce you to 1 hit point, but it won't kill you. It'll be massively inconvenient, though, because it's going to set you up to be one-shotted by anything else. But starvation itself will not kill you. Oh, you're depressed, too. Don't worry, I got a needle that'll solve that. Don't know how that math shakes out, but I guess it worked. The only other thing I would want for these pals would be to have more alphas, because 10k versus 12k, it's an extra 20% health buff. The more alphas, the better for this. But I was not investing skill fruit in any of them. These all perfect IVs, I bred. I bred every single one of these to have 100 in all their IVs. That's why I set up the Yakumos the way I did. That's why I just wanted to have the options to set up any and every combination. That way I'm not having to invest skill fruits, because skill fruits seem like they are a pain and a half to farm. I don't want to have to deal with that. It's either you do raid bosses to get them as a drop, or you farm dog coins. I don't have a good dog coin farm. The only thing I'm seeing as even an option is to crank your appearance rates and go fighting Mimogs in one of the early zones. But then you think, would it make more sense in order to find them in a high-level zone, better drops? Yeah, but then the encounter rate is shit. So, you want to find them in wide-open places, and that means lower-level zones, so they're easier to spot. With the exception of the rescue Jet Dragon, who did not do any rescuing that I noticed, everybody here seems like they went above and beyond. You all did phenomenal. So I need to figure out what I'm doing for the next raid, Xenolord, because these guys are not going to cut it for the high end. I'm going to keep these 2 Jet Dragon, naturally, probably Frostallion as well, but the rest of this squad needs to be shipped out entirely. So I need to get... Xenolord didn't look like it changed types during any of that. It just summoned alts for its phases. Or, not alts, adds. So... probably the best thing I could do would be to just mass reinforce my Jet Dragons. I still have 13 more that are combat ready. I just need to get them fully sold up, and then food buffs. That's all there is to it, I guess. Or if I don't want to go with Jet Dragons, I could go with Blazamut. I would have to compare contrast. I don't have a level 60 build on any Blazamut yet, so I could go more Jet Dragons. I already have them built. I already have them perfect, air quotes, in the same way that these are perfect. But I would have to compare contrast Jet Dragons with Blazamut to see whether I want one or the other for my dragon side. For the dark... well, no, the dragons are for the dark side. For the dragon side, I would have to reinforce all of my Bastigors. None of them are ready for that. So the Bastigors would be reinforced the same way I would do the Frostallion. I doubt I would be able to use the Chillet, so I would probably have to bring another Frostallion as backup. I have another Alpha that's near perfect. I think it's a male. I just have one of its stats is sub 100, so I'd have to invest some skill fruits in that. Is there anything jumping out at me that I'm forgetting? With the Bastigor and the Jet Dragon, that's 26 between the 2 sets of 13. I would have to get a second Frostallion ready. These 2 Jet Dragon are already ready. It would be this Frostallion as a starter, so... no, that's all 30 accounted for. That's basically 2 full bases, plus 2 mounts to alternate. They'd be the same type, but I cannot see a Chillet being useful here. Like, it would be technically super effective against his Dark, but he's also running half Dragon. I would rather prioritize the super effectiveness on the Dragon than try to get more... I can experiment with this offline. I can experiment with this when it's not taking up your time. So. The key thing is... Xenolord went down for the first time. Oop, I guess that also means... You'd expect that screenshot later on Twitter, or X, whatever. I'm surprised more people have done Xenolord than they've done 6 of the 7 tower bosses on hard. Then again, I was also surprised how few people had Blood and Iron when I got that last night. I was just crafting ammo for my Gatling gun. I didn't even realize there was an achievement for it. I'm also extremely late to the party on Hillside Sovereign. Defeating Zoe and Grisbolt, 68.6% of players have that. I didn't get that till the game was almost a year old, because I was planning on saving that. What's the rarest, actually? Finding all notes, or not even all, 40 notes out of 49. And then after that is doing all the tower bosses on hard. Collectibles, the true end boss. Okay. Well, the only thing I fully lost in that raid was, I guess one repair bench. Let's go get our inventory sorted, because I got one more thing I gotta deal with to make sure my Palpedia is full. And I don't want Xenolord to be the second to last pal. I want Xenolord to be the last one. It's like anytime you play Pokemon, you figure, oh yeah, the last pal I'm missing is going to be a legendary, a mythical, something fancy like that. No, it's going to turn out to be a common that you just missed early on through sheer dumb non-luck. I've been there. I know that way too well myself. I only have one Xeno Ultra slab, so I'm going to put that in storage here. Did I take all my Blaz reuse slabs with me? I guess I did. I should go get one of those and bring it back. I forgot I had the cartridges in there. I need to restock on a bunch of things. Accessories 2, that's my rings. Yeah, look at all these freight rings. +1, +2, never getting used. They're just not helpful enough. Give me one of these, 2 of these. I'm not going to need my plasma cannon anymore for the time being, so... Would probably help if I unequipped it. Multi-miss... I'll take that off, too. In fact, I should repair these before I forget. It's expensive. But I got the Hexalite. Yeah. Might as well. T-posing. I guess we did assert some dominance, but not enough. We didn't finish Bjorn and Bastigor hard. We didn't even try Xenolord Ultra, but we got one more challenge to take care of before we call it. One more. And I cannot leave that stone unturned. Right, the head... That's the last thing I'm missing. Wait, what do I have here? Alright, you're gonna show me this. I haven't filled the Xenolord entry yet. It's not gonna be the last one in my decks, okay? The last in my pedia. It's not. Just you wait. Give me a moment longer. Maybe 10 moments. Not miscellaneous. This goes under legendary. There we go. Ultra Raid Headwear. I'm not using any of it because the armor value is just not enough. How am I looking on the rest of the repairs? That's fine. I can work with that. I'm going to have to do more invasive repairs at another point anyway. Let's see. Nothing else I need out of here right now. Leave you two for a moment. And now we need to go to Sakurajima. Because there is one pal I still haven't seen. One. And the only place I know, air quotes, it spawns is in dungeons. That, or I'd have to go looking for it at night. And I'm not even sure if night would work anymore, because the base was a dark pal, but the variant is not. Or maybe it's two types. I don't goddamn know. Wait. A level 60 Yakumo! You do what you feel. Oh yeah, the second I take off the ring, you're dead. I could always use more condensed fodder, but not right now. Not in this mood. The lucky Yakumo. Alright, and you were going. Right. That wasn't what I was here for, but I'll take it. Should be a dungeon right around here. Okay. I will know it when I see it. There's exactly one pal I haven't even technically seen yet in-game, but I know it exists because I looked up the breeding matches. I haven't been in a... Is it you? No, I think it's Catris Ignis. I have Wixen marked. Don't I? Did I get them backwards? Catris Ignis, yes. It's somewhere in this room, then? You know, I'll catch you both just to be safe. Where's the other one? There you are. The last one. Finally. Xenolord will not be the last, pal. Off by one. No, Xenolord will be the last, bar none. Well, Ignis is technically a variant, so would you really count that? I would. It would have pissed me off to no end. How am I inventory space? It's Palladium. I can always use Palladium. I don't recognize this tile set, so I have no idea which way I'm supposed to go. Whoop. Male and female confirmed. Even better. Not a great passive? I don't give a fuck. If I can get better passives, I'll take them. But I got the essentials.
Yeah.
Was one of you trying to get my attention? Must have missed it. kick it. And, have I just not been paying attention? Was this here before? I don't recognize the tile set. I'm guessing I can't loot that, but it would be nice. You can craft a katana, but I've not seen any way to get a legendary. Oh, Bushi knocked. There you go. Nice try. Nothing else in here is jumping out at me, so we'll keep moving. There's nothing else I really need in the dungeons at the moment, though. I got my Catrus Ignises. One male, one female, I'm set. Let's see. I'm not seeing an obvious boss arena through that door. What about here? Oh. Is that tree for the boss room? I don't recognize it. No, that's... I don't know the tile sets, so I could be wrong. I'm just making some judgment calls. That's enough Paldium harvesting for the time being, I think. I don't have any of you ninjas. Whichever one of you gets in the ball first gets to live. You gotta stay in there, though. Oh, and the burly one makes it out. Okay. Oh, I tried. I gave you ways. Unfortunately, you brought a sword to a gunfight. I feel like if anything was going to lead me to a boss room, it would be this. Do I still have my ring unequipped? Sorry for ruining your vibe. Oh yeah, that's the boss room. Is there anything good in here? Who do we got? Who do we got? Yakumo? I just caught a lucky Yakumo. I'll come back. Maybe you'll have respawned a new boss. It better not be a Catris Ignis, though. Or actually, that could be funny. Maxed out the Wix and knocked. Good. Now let me see if I remember the way to that last fork. I think it was a 3-way fork. Yeah, here it is. The last way. Don't want to miss out any good loot. This would have been much quicker if I just remembered to come here the first time. But I didn't have foresight. Do I need any more Bushi knocked? I think I do. I could probably use some tickets as well. Do you hear that? There's a lucky. Oh my... You escaped me my first day on Feybreak. Now I get my revenge. Stay in there. Yes. He's even a mine foreman. Or she, I didn't pay attention. Yes. I got my lucky kick it. In fact, I can use more regular hits still, but I got my lucky one. What? Stay. Good armadillo. It's just a regular Moraith over there. I don't think I need any more Moraiths. I wonder if that legendary overrode the alpha in here. If so, still worth it. Oh. Another Bushi knocked. Still got the ring equipped? Okay. You mean you're not going to cut my bullets out of the air? And there you go. Could still use one more, but I'm not filling out that part of the Palworld right now. Okay. There's nothing else in here I could be forgetting, right? No, just walk away. It's almost midnight. I want to finish this. Yeah, another lucky right outside the boss's tower. Not how I was planning it, but, you never plan for luckies, really? You could plan for breeding it down as a passive, but the lucky itself? That's something special. Alrighty. Oh, goddammit, the connection just got interrupted. The Twitch stream is broken, but the VOD's gonna be ending momentarily, too. So, don't worry, you're not missing much. My apologies if you're watching on Twitch. OBS is dog shit. It's the least bad option except for every other. Catris Ignis, Wixen Noct. You could probably put these right next to each other, or these right next to each other, and the wrong person wouldn't even be able to tell them apart. But not all variants are created equal. Now, for what I consider the grand finale. And perfectly timed, it's happening at dawn, too. I have to actually get the eggs out of my storage, though. Just because everything else is being idyllic doesn't mean my brain's going to cooperate. So one of these is going to be Blazamut, and the other is going to be the final pal I need for the Palpedia. 186 registered, 187 encountered. It should be 188, but for reasons I don't understand, goo moss with flower is not counted as a variant. It's just a cosmetic thing. So... Did I just pass it? Goo moss does not get a separate entry for goo moss with flower, so... I'm not missing any. I can show you, I've got a bunch of goo moss with flower. I even have one with a rainbow passive. You showing it off, buddy? Where are you going? What are you up to? No. I wanted to show you off. That's it. Have a berry anyway. Even if you're not empty stomach. Have a berry. I've got everything except for Xenolord, and now I'm about to cross that off my list. Time to finish catching them all. You even got Invader, of course. Invader, Otherworldly Cells, and Fine Furs. Okay. And you got Dial Lover. Another male, too. I don't need more males or females. I have my Blazamut reuse secured. Now I just need a male Xenolord. So I guess you're a Xeno lady. Oh, and now that I have you, actually, how much is your saddle? 5 points. The final pal. Refrain from forgetting or consuming critical data. So same as Xenogard. Eating data. Yep. Eating and sending. Whereas Xenogard, I've used 3,356 to get where I am, and I'm still not done with them. Now we have the simple just one of Xenolord. Just one. And it always starts with one. If you want to see more with my breeding process, then I can show that off when we return to Palworld, but that's not going to be for a hot minute. Let's show all my numbers, actually, while we're here. Just one off from 2,000. Splatterina, you tease. 2,000 even. Nightmare got the Mewtwo %. See, this is one of the things that, like, Xenovader and Xenogard have the same restrictions, except for the fact that Xenovader is much more plentiful if you're encountering it in the wild, so you can get more reliable Yakumo procs. If you get Xenovaders in the right area, you can get... I think there's areas with more than 4, but the area I liked had 4 Xenovaders per meteorite spawn. You get 1 Xenogard per meteor, no matter where, so... just the matter of how many you encounter helps you do it with the Yakumo, so you don't have to rely on the sheer randomness of breeding odds. So, it's unfortunate, but it's still work in progress. My Xenovaders are done, air quotes, unless I find a way to get lucky. Xenogard is just one away from... it's either missing Demon God or Diamond Body, one or the other. Mimog, I did a lot of breeding on it. I think I've got 6 out of 9 for the Rainbow Passives on that one as well. I can pull that up. Let's see. Xenogard, I'm missing Diamond Body. Xenovader, Lucky. Mimog, I'm missing Eternal Engine. Heart of the Immovable King. And Swift. I did catch 1 Lucky Mimog, thankfully, so I don't have to worry about all that. It's at 6 out of 9. Yep. Daisy Mew. Dogen. I don't see this pal as being useful. Its ability is replaced by a single item. Once you have these homeward thunderclouds, I won't say homebound, homeward thunderclouds, it's a Hearthstone. It makes Dogen's ability useless. So maybe I'll mess with it. It has a wide spread of abilities, but... or maybe. Yakumo, this is probably my most bred pal. Probably my highest capture count, too. 6,931. We'll see. Nocklum, I've done 2 builds for. Neither of them are in use right now, but I do have 1 for combat and a handful for transport. So if I need them, I have them. They're in storage. Prickster, Soothseer, Kickit. I like Kickit. I'm glad I got my Lucky. Shroomer Noct. I really like this one. I just got the saddle for it. You don't need the saddle for its base ability if you're assigning it to a farm. Base Shroomer, I don't know if I like you as much as the dark one. Celine. Since I was able to get a Palladius with perfect IVs, I was able to breed it down and got my Celine with perfect IVs as well. So I believe I got her with Legend Celestial Emperor, 2 skills that Celestial Emperor, at least, is derivative exclusively from Palladius. Legend, broader availability, obviously, but I can show that. They should be in my regular box slots. You need to go into your home now, too. Here they are. Legend and Celestial Ember. I'm not wearing my glasses, but these are one of the 39 pairs I have with perfect IVs. Took some doing. And they're fully condensed as well, because I bred so many of them I was tired of butchering. I don't have a build in mind for these yet. Maybe I'll change my mind. For now, though, I just want to have them fully condensed. I'll level them later. They'll be good for expeditions. Let's see, where were we? Bella Noir versus Bella Noir Libero. 514. I didn't do much for base Bella Noir. I just wanted to make sure that I had Siren of the Void on them. And again, these are perfect IV. Females even on a perfect IV alpha. Just Siren of the Void on them for ease of future breeding if I ever use them. Although Bella Noir Libero is the focus. I think these are both perfect IVs. I don't remember. I definitely have perfect IVs stored elsewhere for them. Oh, and that reminds me. Something I didn't know about. And I learned the hard way. It wasn't much of a price to be paid, but I just realized there's a sign at base I didn't stop at. I had to start selling Bella Noirs because butchering them is pointless. They have no data on possible drops. You might think, oh, that's just unknown. No, they have no drops. You butcher a Bella Noir or a Bella Noir Libero, they drop nothing. So if you're not condensing them, you should never butcher. So yeah, I haven't sold any pals to the PAL merchants or black marketers at all this playthrough until I got to the point where my Bella Noirs were piling up. That includes base Bella Noir and Libero. This was all the money I'd stockpiled from it. Oh, by the way, coal from Blazamut reused. All this meteor is from Xenovaders and Xenoguards I was breeding. I only stockpiled enough to condense 2 of each fully. The oils are from... I think I took half of this back to base with me at some point. And these Palmetal ingots are from Palladius and Necromus. I've been doing a lot of breeding on the restrictive pals. They're not ready, not by a long shot, but I have been trying to chip away at it. And this is the exact amount of gold that I had from selling Bella Noir and Bella Noir Libero. So I'm going to give you some math homework. So let me pull up a screenshot because I have the numbers saved that way. So a base Bella Noir would sell for approximately 827. A Bella Noir Alpha, and we're talking level 1s here. The level 1 basic Bella Noir would be 827. A level 1 Alpha Bella Noir, gender doesn't matter for this, even if one is rarer than the other, would sell for 1654. Approximately exactly double, actually. But then you factor in whether or not you're carrying noble fine furs, as I do. I carried the 5 Wumpo when I was selling to the black marketer. Can I show my notepad right now? Is it appearing? There we go. Okay. With my 5 Wumpos, I could sell base Bella Noir level 1 for 1158 instead. And at the same degree, I could sell an Alpha Bella Noir for 2316. These numbers, thankfully, shake out the same way for Libero versus Base Bella Noir. Which, honestly, I was kind of surprised by. I thought I saved multiple screenshots for... No, they're shaking out the same for the with Wumpos, so they would be shaking out the same for the without. So, the exact numbers for... And, as I've shown you previously, the total number sold was 448. So, your homework, should you be willing to accept it, is 827A plus 1654B plus 1158C plus 2316D equals 585, comma, so 585,436. Okay, there's your homework if you're feeling bold. 837A plus 1654B plus 1158C plus 2316D equals 585,436. Solve for A, B, C, and D, wherein the four variables added together equals 488. Each variable is a minimum of 1, no negative numbers. So if you're feeling bold, there's some homework for you. If you're not, I don't blame you, because I didn't write down the exact numbers, and this is just me fucking with you slightly. Now, where were we in the Palpedia? Right. Jet Dragons. I was surprised Jet Dragons stayed as low as it did while I was able to achieve the results I wanted. There's just one rainbow passive I'm missing on it now, so Jet Dragon is nearly done. Meanwhile, Frostallion, again, it's much simpler than... Frostallion Knock is much simpler than base Frostallion. I have one more rainbow passive I need on base Frostallion, so yeah, I guess that is a reasonable difference, about 200-300? 243, okay. Frostallion Knocked, as long as I can get what I need onto a Hell Zephyr, getting it onto the Knocked itself, not complicated. Necromus and Palladius. I bred way more Palladius than Necromus. I prioritized Palladius because it has to be during the day. I'm not breeding Vampiric onto all of them, or Nocturnal. Necromus, on the other hand, it's dark. I can just do what I want with it in terms of when I breed it. Shadowbeak. I might breed more of these. Brother, where are your eyes? Huh. That's a new one. Well, finally. Okay. I have a friend who likes Shadowbeaks, so if we can start trading between worlds, then I might make more. and try to specialize his tastes. For now, though, I'm not a big Shadowbeak guy. Maybe another day. It does drop the innovative technical manuals like Anubis, so if you want that, but you're more leaning towards metals and carbon fiber, as opposed to Anubis where it is bone and large souls, then go at it. Orsurk, I have the base version of it ready, but I want to have not just base workers, one for my team. I do want to fully optimize my favorite team. But it's not happening today. I need to figure some things out first. Phalaris Aqua, I want to make them perfect. I already have the abilities, the passives ready for it. It's just, I want to have them perfect as well. Base Phalaris, I didn't do much on this. I think I actually have more perfect IVs ready on base Phalaris than I do Phalaris Aqua. It was a quick step to get to Phalaris Aqua itself, because, you know, that's the variant. Lylene Noct versus base Lylene. I miss when this thing actually wasn't nocturnal. That was a fun little Easter egg when you found it asleep in the middle of the ice biome. It doesn't have a practical use for me in the face of base Lylene, though. Like, 15, these were just bosses I captured or was trying to trying to stomp. I can't say smash without the internet having different connotations to that than me. Versus Lylene, I still have 2 trap Lylenes working at my base right now. I'm always happy to use this. One of the best farm workers. Grizzbolts, I think I have 2 different variants of this set up. One for combat, one for base worker. Since it's something of a through line. I'm not sure on that one. I would have to check my spreadsheet. But yeah, I have 5,000 of them, so it wouldn't surprise me. Suzaku and Suzaku Aqua, not something I really fuck with. Yormantide Ignis and base Yormantide. I was worried I wouldn't be using these guys again. I like them, but I was worried I wouldn't be using them because they're such big base workers. But recent patches have made it so all base workers behave in confined spaces as if they are small base workers. It doesn't change movement speed or how things aesthetically look, but if I want to, I could bring these guys back to the base. As it stands, though, I'm happy having them for my combat teams. Anubis, I feel like the last 1,000 of those were bred for large souls and for tech point manuals. At least 500 of them. So, I'm sorry to say, you went to me unlocking some saddles. But still, you're one of my favorite pals. I feel sorry about it. But then I remember I got rewarded anyway, so it goes down easier. Menacing Terra, base Menacing, Astegon. Astegon, I want... You have the eye thing, too. What happened with you and Shadowbeak? Is it happening to anybody else? It's not exclusively happening to dark types. We're gonna stay here until you open your eyes. You spin me right round, baby, right round like a record. Open your damn eyes. I don't know why this is happening. I don't have any texture mods installed, it's just everything native. Maybe it will change the lighting? No? I told you, I'm not leaving until you open your eyes. Shadowbeak, did you lose your eyes again too? You both did. I'm guessing it's happening to something with that texture. They're not the same eyes, though. And it's only happened with the 2 of them so far, that I'm aware of. interesting. Don't make me break my word. I never took that drink for Saya and Celine, so that's my excuse for hanging here a moment longer. What is your deal, friend? Same in the Palpedia and in the storage. What about when I summon you? Same deal. I'll be honest with you, it's a kind of good look, but I'm not used to it considering you normally have eyes. Is it because we're in a high traffic area? Let's go someplace less busy. How about that? You got your eyes back now? Good. Hellzephyr Lux. I'm looking into making a full Dark Pal base, so Hellzephyr Lux, even if he wasn't, he's under consideration because of his ability to apply electric on mounted attacks. Hellzephyr, again, Hellzephyr was my through line for both Hellzephyr Lux and Frostallion Nox, so it was always going to get some effort. Blazamut Ryu. It took me that many. I think I only had like a dozen and change overkill once I'd finished getting all the passives I needed. So, yeah, you're going to be breeding a while. Start stockpiling those cakes if you want to get any possible passives onto the restrictive options. I have not messed with base Blazamut. It's something that I've seen do well. I've been recommended it. I've never messed with it. I think I used it briefly on the Silvervale community server, but after I couldn't even tell you. Mining 4, I replaced it with Anubis, and Kindling, I got Kindling 4 on Yormantide Ignis, so I replaced it. Quivern Botan, Quivern's one of those pals that I keep wanting to try in the mid-game, but by the time I get it, I've already got better options. Maybe I could just try it for cosmetics' sake. Felbat, one of my goats. He was carrying hard today. Bless the little bastard for tolerating me. Fanglo, Fangloplex, Warsect Terra, Base Warsect, Wumpo Baton, Base Wumpo. I feel like I like Wumpo Baton more than Base Wumpo. Even though I prefer the cold motif of Base Wumpo, Wumpo Baton just has a more fun name. Maybe I am being that shallow. I don't know. But yeah, I haven't done any specific builds for these aside from my sales buffs, so the saddles between the 5 of them give me, I think, 800 extra carry weight. Use the extra carry weight, carry stuff to get sold. That's why it's noble fine fur. Mammorest and Mammorest Christ. Maybe I could try something with them. I've wanted to see how the added ground type helps or hinders them, if at all, so I'm curious. I haven't messed with Mammorest in a while. Not on this save. I haven't messed with them on the save at all. King Paka Christ and King Paka. The only reason I messed with these two as much as I did is because I wanted to get their females out of the way as early as possible. And there's more pals with skewed gender ratios that I'm going to have to deal with. I just wanted to get these two out of the way in particular, because catching a female King Paka don't know why I gave myself the objective. I didn't want to breed into a female King Paka. I specifically wanted to catch one. Took for goddamn ever, so. After I caught the female, however, it was open season on just trying to get them in good shape. I bred them as bruisers. These are going to be Demon God, Musclehead, Ferocious, Legend, I think? Demon God, Legend, Musclehead, Ferocious. Yep. These are bruisers. Reptyro Christ, one of my favorites. Once I can start focusing on making my perfect team, he's going to be on there. And I want to figure out the best way to do it, but defensive pals are not particularly strong in the game right now, so unfortunately, he's not going to be anyone's idea of the best option, but I like him. I want to use him. I don't know why it is either, because I don't like base Reptyro, but I like Reptyro Christ. Just something in my head clicks. I don't know. Petalia, I still have that one male Petalia I need to use skill fruits on to make it perfect. But Petalia I like having as an option earlier on before I can get Lylene. So, yeah. Broncherry Aqua, I've actually heard something controversial about whether or not it still has the ability to breed outside its own species. It used to be, I think it was base Broncherry and a Flack? That was the combination it used to be that I remember, that I'm trying to remember. But I did hear something on a video recently that it no longer functions, so I'll have to look into that. Either way, I've got multiple Broncherry and Broncherry Aqua set up, so I'm not running short on either of them. Relaxaurus and Relaxaurus Lux. Relaxaurus I set up 2 builds on, since Relaxaurus can be a bit of a bottleneck for breeding. I did a pure combat build, same as the King Paka set, where it was Demon God, Legend, Musclehead, Ferocious. That's the only set I have for Relaxaurus Lux. But for base Relaxaurus, I also have my crafting build for non-nocturnals. So, Remarkable, Artisan, Work Slave, Vampiric. Blazehowl Noct and Blazehowl. I wish I used these more than I did. But if I'm going to have Teostra and Lunastra fun, then that's something for when we go back to Monster Hunter very shortly. Cryolynx Terra. It's annoying when you first get to Feybreak. But it's not really something I mess with otherwise. Same with base Cryolynx. Cryolynx does give you an option for bonus drops from dragon types if you're so inclined, but I haven't needed it. I haven't used it. Azure Robe just for that one situation in case we need it on against Fire Mount. Against Fire Pals while using a Water Mount to convert our damage to Water type. I'm still not seeing the utility. I could try it again against Blazamut Ryu, but right now it's just not seeming useful. Kelpsy Ignis. Kelpsy. I forgot about Kelpsy when you're going over pals that give you damage modifiers for certain pal types that are active. I forgot this thing gave you a water buff. I couldn't remember any of them giving you a water buff. I thought there was missing for water and dragon. No, just dragon for some reason. I forgot Kelpsy existed. Poor unfortunate you. Elfidrin Aqua and base Elfidrin. It's another thing, kind of the Quivering situation. Maybe for cosmetic choices I could mess with that. For now, I have not. Sibilix. I was considering a Sibilix for the ranch, but I would rather have Melpaka because Melpaka gives you just raw wool, versus if you're using a Sibilix or the like, it would give you either cloth or high-quality cloth. If you're using a Melpaka, it gives you wool. You can convert that to whatever type of cloth you need, so if you know you're only going to need one type of cloth, then yeah, pick a rancher specifically for that type of cloth. Personally, I would prefer just sticking with a Melpaka for a wool generator if I still needed one. Violet, I hate your hitbox. Verdash, only reason I bred you is because you're the only grass converter in the game right now. Wixen Noct. It's utility. Base Wixen. Catrus Ignis, if you want me to dot the I's and cross the T's, here you goddamn go, okay? Here it is. One time. This is technically the last PAL I saw in this playthrough. It came after Xenolord. I had to go dungeon delving in Sakurajima because I never found one before. You happy? I'm not. But it wasn't the last entry I filled out. That was still technically Xenolord. I did that on video. I have evidence. I have witnesses. Actually, I think the stream broke before I had witnesses. Shit. I have evidence. Catrus, Ragnarok. I like Ragnarok. I still prefer Vanworm, obviously, but I like Ragnarok. I like having him as a fire converter mount. Beacon, again, if you want an electric converter mount, he is the fastest. I would prefer raw overall stats over just pure speed. Bushi Noct, base Bushi. Bushi Noct is on my short list for a pure dark base, so maybe I'll do that on my hard mode character. Maybe. Vanworm Christ versus base Vanworm. I'm sorry, Donald Duck, but you just can't compete. It's the yellow feet. It's the blue pants. You're just not able to compete with the original. You got done dirty. In an effort at modesty at that, somehow. Vanworm, base Vanworm, is something I really want to focus on for breeding. I know, even though it's my favorite, he's never going to be top tier. He's S rank in a lot of people's lists, but that's purely based on how early you can get him. For endgame, where we are right now, he's not going to be top tier. But he will always be first place in my heart. Now that we got that sappy shit out of the way. Flambell, Lavander. I'm still looking into the stats on whether or not Lavander is better or worse than Felbat in terms of lifesteal abilities. So, allegedly it's better, but I've also been told those patch notes are wrong, or bugged, or something to that effect, so we'll see. I would prefer to stick with Felbat for type advantages, but the big thing is, even though Felbat does have the ability to be super effective against normal, you're not dealing with a lot of normal enemies. Versus if you're dealing with a lot of dragon enemies, Felbat takes super effective damage from dragons, versus Lavander takes super effective damage from dark types. Feybreak is a very dark-heavy update, but I feel like they're going to swing it to a different element next update. If time will tell. I want to experiment. Combat, if you get it early, it's functional. I never felt the need to mess with it. Lunaris, I was using Lunaris briefly as my noble find fur option because you didn't need a saddle for its weight bonus. I think it just gives you 80 pounds out of the gate, and if you get it fully invested, it gives you 120? That sounds right. I don't remember exactly. I don't use them for that same purpose anymore. I replaced them with the Wumpos and the Wumpo batons. But yeah, if you want a carry bonus and you don't want to invest in saddles, then, well, technically your earliest option for that would be Kativa. But it's not as big a bonus as you would get off of Lunaris, so. There's better bonuses. There's easier bonuses to find. Lunaris is fine. It's more of a waifu bait Pokemon than it is a practical pal, so. There you go. Dazzy Noct. I forgot you were a second option for a Dark Electric type. I thought I was going to have to use Hell Zephyr Lux. I forgot you existed. I don't imagine I'm going to need more handiwork medicine production. And if I'm going to use transporting anyway, then Hell Zephyr Lux has a +4 in generating electricity and transporting versus you having the +1, so I forgot you were an option, maybe for a good reason. I'm going to use Hell Zephyr Lux for that base whenever I get to the all-dark types. I'm thankful for you. You exist. Base Dazzy. I think this is mostly going to be useful for the Homeward Clouds, so if I breed them, it's just going to be for materials, not for the pal itself. Kitsun knocked. You were annoying to find initially, but not as bad as Ram, so got that going for you. Base Kitsun. Okami 2 is coming, theoretically, eventually. Still got Kamiya involved, unfortunately. Salty about Bayonetta 3? Me? No. Rayhound, Raindrix, Pyron knocked, Pyron. I can't remember what I needed you for, but you were a through line to breeding something I needed previously. Whatever it was, it worked out. Alolan... I was about to say Alolan Vulpix, Alolan Ninetales. Really, it's a white fox with some frost to it. It's nothing that fanciful or specific. It's a through line for some breeding combos. I haven't needed to mess with it yet, so I just kind of have what I have. I like Univolts. It's not something I'd see myself using anymore, but when you get access to it, it's decent. Yeah, I think I bred some of these for electric organs, or... No, I didn't breed any of these, actually. I bred a couple on another save. These were all captures, specifically for electric organs. Try to get my large generators off the ground. Chillet Ignis, you're not as good as base Chillet. You're just... If you're going to use a fire converter, why would I use Chillet Ignis when Ragnarok is on the table? Sweepa, I've never tried your gimmick build, but maybe one day. That would be the only reason I accumulate Swees as well. Grintail, Alice in Wonderland vibes. Elizabeth, I've never tried your gimmick build, but maybe one day. Beeguard, always going to be useful. You have nowhere to purchase honey reliably, so you have to be able to generate honey on your ranches. I have one build here that is set, it's perfect IVs, and the Beeguards can leave the ranch in order to help with other tasks. If I was hell-bent on them being purely honey generators, I could try another build. For now, they are functioning as much as I need them. But there is another option, so I might pursue that. Gorarat Terra, Gorarat, Robin Quill, Terra, base Robin Quill, Gale Claw. I don't think I can go back to not having a glider now. I got too used to it. It's very convenient. I could mess with some of the other glider options, but I like the ability to break out my weapon while gliding, if needed. So, right now, Gale Claw is my front runner for surprising upstart. Props to Gale Claw. Loop Moon Chris versus base Loop Moon. You only get points because you were the first annoyance I encountered on Feybreak. That's it. Your boss dying before I could capture him. Yeah, that's your only memory. You are nothing else. Elise Punk Ignis. Elise Punk. Elise Punk got surprisingly irksome with the level 60 oil rig, but that's it. I don't know when else I would be using this. Like, your ability Sixth Sense? Like, maybe if I was on console, but the fact is, if I need help finding dungeons, I can find active dungeons like this. Just, it's an easily accessible mod. If you're on PC, then I see no reason to use Elise Punk. Unless you're on a server that specifically bans all mods. I can't see a reason. Cognito, flavorful, but it's not something I see myself using. Dummud. Puberty hit Sobble really hard. And so did that spray tan. Arsox, not bad. I've used them before in bases, but not really for teams. Cinemoth is an option for honey, but it's for honey when you're out catching it, not for honey in a ranch. So, if you're ranching for honey, stick with Beeguard. It's your best and realistically only option. If you're just farming honey by catching / killing pals out in the wild, then yeah, Cinemoth is a target. But you can shoot for something better. Incineram Knocked. Incineram Knocked is actually just worse than base Incineram because you lose Kindling. They're both dark. You just lose Kindling when you move on to the fancier antler pattern. Yeah, I get it. You have fancy antlers. You look nicer with those gold embellishments. But you lose an entire work trait. Although Incineram can be annoying to come by early game if you're leveling your base too quickly, you might no longer be getting invaded by the gangs of pals that include Incineram, so... at that point, you just go southwest of the small settlement. You climb the mountains, and you can find it in some... the TLDR is, neither of these are pals that I use particularly, but if I was going to use one of them, just use the baseline. The Noct variant is strictly worse. It looks cooler, arguably, and that's it. Ribani Botan. I see the appeal. I've also seen people saying that if you're using instructional manuals for bonus skills on your pals, or bonus levels on your pal skills, then this is one of the best ammo crafters. I might have to look into that. Nightwing, it's going to be your first flying pal if you're trying to speedrun that. Other than that, it's there. Eikthyr Terra and Eikthyr. I needed to breed through Terra for something. I can't remember what. That's the only reason I have so many of them. Other than that, it's just Eikthyr for the meat for early on meat consumption. That's about it. Melpaka, I would recommend this as your number one wool option if you're doing that via ranching, but at what point do you have enough wool? Sooner than you think. Capridy Noct, base Capridy, your only advantage with Noct over base is that you don't have to invest Vampiric or Nocturnal. I don't really see a reason for either of them particularly. By the time you find them, you've got infinitely better grass options. Woolipop. Woolipop is one pal that I'm actually strongly considering that I need not just in another save, but all my saves. Because I need to start making a lot more medicine, and cotton candy is an essential ingredient for some godforsaken reason. And the only way you can get it is off of Woolipops. Either by butchering them, or by breeding them. Breeding, capture, butcher, you know what I'm trying to say. So Woolipop is on the short list for pals that I need to actually introduce to my main base. And possibly all future bases. I might replace my Melpaka with this, or could be Chickpea or Mozzarina, considering I can also just buy eggs and milk, so. Woolipop, surprisingly, I needed those 200 of them for the cotton candy from medicine. I haven't needed to restock on it yet, but I feel like I'm going to need more. I still have to get those last 2 research perks for the medicine skill tree. Woolipop, surprisingly more essential than ever. Who knew? Mossanda Lux. Mossanda was my through line for Lylene, that's why I have so many of them. I still don't think I have a definitive build on it yet. Mossanda Lux, I would probably use the same build as Rulexaurus Lux, just because I would want to focus on using the grenade launcher. Hangyu versus Hangyu Christ. I gave them both a shot. I still need to actually try them as mounts, or gliders specifically, so I'll look into it. They could be options. I've heard good things about their elevation, that if you chain on-off the mounts, their elevation will actually get you across bodies of water. So if you're early game, you get access to these as gliders, then you could get very early access to Feybreak or Sakurajima. I see the utility. It's just, I'm at a stage of the game now where that utility's kind of come and gone. I don't see it outperforming a Gale Claw with a weapon option. But I could be wrong. Gobfin and Gobfin Ignis. I don't need to have perfect IVs on them. I already have them idealized for builds. They just stay in my party and buff my damage with Vanguard and my defenses with Stronghold. But I would like to have them perfect because I don't hate them. I kind of like them. They're not like my favorite pals or anything, but I like them. Yeah. I got really attached to a Bristle I had early on in this save because it was one of my only nocturnal options. So it was one of my very few pals that was working around the clock. But generally speaking, it's just a less impressive Petalia, and Petalia is a lesser Lylene, so... Mozzarina is a source of beef, and it's also the only pal that you can ranch for milk. I'm probably going to retire it from my bases. I'm looking to retire Chickapee, Mozzarina, and Melpaka. Woolapop is going in at least one of those slots. I don't know what I'm going to do with the other two yet. But yeah, Mozzarina, before you can afford to buy milk en masse, he's going to give it to you for free. Or she. Milk pours from the pal like water from an open faucet, regardless of gender. I'm not tripping over my tongue when I say he or she. It's all their problem. Floppy, never used them. Toco, I could try now that I have their gloves unlocked with the egg launcher. Never messed with them before, though. Dire Howl is still one of my favorite mounts. I know it has a pitifully low amount of stamina. And its top speed is nothing compared to what's available with Azure Mane or Jet Dragon now, but I still like it. Celeray, another glider I could explore. Malchrist, Base Mal. Unlucky 13 for the cat. Good thing I didn't take your gold mine across your path, right? Killamari, another glider option. Also one that's surprisingly rare depending on how soon you start dungeon delving. Because I only ever remember these things popping up in dungeons once I start pushing outward. But still, now that they've got watering on them, more useful than ever. Probably one of the best early game watering options. They're the only nocturnal watering pal. Fuddler, Nox. You always find these things too late for them to be useful for my tastes. Rushore, primarily a source of meat rather than anything else, although it is an early saddle, I guess. Daydream if you want to try the out-of-pocket collars, I guess. 1 Hoocrates, 4 Daydreams. It's a build. I've tried it. I don't recommend it once you're out of the early game, but it is an option early on. Gigantamax Eevee. I think I've tried using this for wool in the past, but that was just catching, not ranching. Depresso's just a vibe. I wouldn't really recommend it in particular, but it's a vibe. Teefant is one of my favorites in terms of design and name. It's just goddamn perfect, and it's next to Hoocrates, one of my least favorites in both. How? Right next to each other. One of the best and one of the worst. It's also your early game healing option, in addition to an early game watering option. It's not likely to deal a lot of damage back to you while you're catching it, so... Yeah, I recommend Teefant, and Hoocrates only if you're going for the Daydream build. Otherwise, fuck it. It is technically a dark buffer for your team, but I don't like it. Vixie is too Neopets for my tastes, but I did catch 12 out of 12. Gumoss is nice. I can't see myself using anything with just planting 1 for long, but look at him. He's Gumoss. Jolthog Christ. Depending on your server settings, you might not be able to catch this thing in the overworld, because if it's in the wild encounter with Dire Howl, the Dire Howls will be multiplied by the PAL appearance rate, but the Jolthog Christs will not. So you could have 1, 2, or 3 Dire Howls that are approaching this thing violently be boosted up to, like, between 3 and 9. This thing's going to be outnumbered immediately, so... If you want to catch one, your options are heavily dependent on your server settings. As opposed to base Jolthog, which it's just a Jolthog. Thank you, Pika Shaman. Pen King, aka the reason we thought evolution would be here following Pangullet. If you're early on, it's a valid base worker. I've never used them for much more out beyond that. Ruby is a type booster. Tansy gets an AR, or... I'm trying to remember if the exact build of the gun. I don't... Tansy gets a pocket rocket. There you go. An assault rifle, not a pocket rocket. Pocket rockets are reserved for friends and close acquaintances. Tansy just gets something that looks like it fires in 5.56. Sparket. I needed this for breeding. I think it was Relixorus Lux. Or was it Malsanda Lux? One of the Lux variants, it has to be with a Sparket. Other than that, though, it's just another Pika-like clone. Flak has a fun name to say. Froxspark's Chris. Why a variant to the Flamethrower? It gives you an Ice Thrower, I guess. But rank 1 cooling by the time you're in an endgame island, like level 50 plus, based off of a POW that you start encountering at level... I think the highest level Foxsparks you find at Beginner's Plateau is something like level 4 or 5. I don't see the value. Lift Monk, your effigies, 2 of them are forever out of reach, and I will not forgive you for that. I won't say never, but I'm not anticipating a change. Chickapee was the first of the restrictive breeders that I perfected. I have all of the rainbow traits available for it that are legally possible. Lucky, Demon God, Diamond Body. Let me just pull up the list. Lucky, Demon God, Diamond Body, Eternal Engine, Hardy the Immortal King, Mastery of Fasting, Remarkable Craftsmanship, Swift, and Vampiric. And I have perfect IVs as well, male and female. Chickapee was the first of the restricted breeding options that I perfected, and it is only because they are so easy to catch in abundance. The hard part was finding the perfect IVs, but everything else is just brute force it with raw numbers on Yakumo. Even before you get the IV goggles that let you check the stats, you're likely to get at least one perfect IV off of a Chickapee just from sheer numbers of how many of the damn things you're going to catch. They're easy eggs. They're easy meat. But that said, a restrictive breeding option that was completed. So far, I only have 3 of them. Chickapee is one of the 3. The other 2 are Blazamut, Ryu, and Bella Noir Libero. It's quite the short list to be on. Kativa is an early option for reducing your load. It gives you extra storage capacity very early on. Weight capacity, however you want to phrase it. It's almost 1 a.m. I'm fading fast here. And, of course, Lamball, who I captured en masse purely for wool when I wasn't running a Melpaka in my base. 80% for wool, 20% for meat. And that's all she wrote. So, let's go back to my main base. I want to grab some ancient tech points, or not ancient tech points, just regular tech points. I don't want to use my last one. You know, I have 1 extra ancient tech point invested because I used a manual. I'll have 1 regular tech point extra too. And you still need 1 more. The final item I need in the technology page. I'm so sorry, Anubis. So many of you died just to give me books. Can anybody help me with this, or do I gotta go grab a Splatterina? Oh, even with both of us, that's taken time. Okay. Okay. Chai, sit out for a second. My first Xenolord. The final pal for... You're a lot smaller than I was originally expecting. Hang on. I can still use my weapons on you. Okay. But you don't fly automatically, you walk. But still, let's take off. You might or might not have noticed some of the decorations around the base. I'm not going to that. This one is Michael Wilson. This is the first scale claw that I used as a glider. I did not expect to like gliders as much as I did, but having a glider pal was that big a difference. And here is Inferno, the Vanworm, guarding my base. And everybody topside, more of my core team. Either the other presidential Jet Dragon, or Felbat, Broncherry Aqua, Orsurk, and Reptyrochrist. The full team. Let's go for a fly, shall we? Everything feels slow after getting used to a Jet Dragon. I'm not gonna lie. The final pal. As of this recording, the final pal. I'll have to do more raiding, more breeding off stream, more everything. A year later, I'm still enjoying Palworld. Having a gay old time. But there's more adventures to go on, and in 9 days as of... Yeah, it's the 19th now. It's almost 1 a.m. In just over a week, Monster Hunter Wild is going to drop. And I'm planning on no-lifing that. But before Wilds begins, World must end. I've obviously played World to completion on my personal save, but that was before I started streaming. So, you, me, we gotta go back to Celiana. We gotta go back and finish Iceborne. We need to be ready to hunt. And there's one more monstrous playthrough waiting for us. Next time. I'll catch you then.